volley.
They're put in an awfully difficult position, as are Millwall here. They've formed an orderly queue, and now they break for Somerville's delivery. And Piru's in there again, Ayling. And Białkowski enters the fray and brings calm. Rodon's head. Byram. Somerville. Piru in support. Oh, beautifully done, Piru. Full of bright ideas and invention. And Strauch. The ball was bouncing all over the place, and he couldn't guide it back to Meslier.
Well, the ball bounced, Dan, but I'm not sure he should be making a mess of this. He's got away from Nisbet. Just head it back to your goalkeeper. It's just an awful header. Simple as that.
Bit of kindness on a Sunday. They've conceded a lot of cheap corners already, haven't they? It's whether Millwall can maximise one of these situations. Something a little unexpected. Might turn out all right, actually, as Bradshaw turns it across, but that was certainly not in the plan.
Yeah, for Millwall, it's getting back to what they're doing so well in the opening few minutes of the game. They're angry, they feel there was a foul in the build-up to the Leeds goal, Leeds score. They just need to assert control again.
Wallace is there, and he will get the decision. Somerville coming through him. So the bone of contention is possibly not thoughts of a penalty, but thoughts of a foul here, en route by the goal scorer.
Yeah, the officials are looking at a higher threshold in terms of contact. Just because you make contact doesn't mean it's a foul. Referee's in a very good position to see it. Immediately says, you know, play on. But Piru, the way that he gets out of that challenge and then follows the play up, how he can affect the game from a deeper position, running off the ball into attacking space, is brilliant.
Ayling's ball is one that Somerville might latch onto here. It's all against him. And it nearly didn't matter. Oh, audacious, nearly but not quite.
Well, because Leeds have got Ayling, as he does so often, providing the width on the right-hand side. Somerville can drift in from the right into central areas, as he did there, and he is so lucky. The only problem is with being a right-footed player, when you clip a ball with your instep like that, it's always moving away from the target. Unless you hit it true and straight, it would drop in at the far post. But brilliant effort, great run off the ball as well.
Plenty of head coaches at this level looking on in envy at the attacking talent at Leeds United's disposal. It's been a difficult start because of various circumstances. It's always emotionally tough, and expectation is significant for any side who comes down from the Premier League. You've got to get over all of that and then get into your stride, and Leeds are looking like they're doing so.
Yeah, his movement off the ball was excellent as Ayling plays that forward ball. He's in between defenders, he's on the move, and he is so unlucky. The idea is right, he's got no support, has to go for goal. The angle is against him. Clips it beautifully over Białkowski. Keeper's never getting there, it's just slightly off target. You're right about Leeds, all the wealth of attacking talent. They've got all different types of attackers as well. It's just whether they can combine. And we saw they can for the goal.
It's incredible to think that they've started the day after yesterday's results in 18th place. And that is not going to last for very long, whatever the outcome here.
One thing Daniel Farke needed was a settled squad to know who he's working with. I think over the next 5 games or so, we'll see how seriously he should take Leeds in terms of getting promoted.
Somerville, Ruter's pass blocked. And they're so willing to try those sort of combinations in very tight areas. Belief in their ability. Norton Cuffy. Leonard. Wallace wondering what his options are. He'll use Longman. Comes back to Murray Wallace. On by Longman again. Wallace.
That's what Millwall have to do. They have to be brave, get the ball out to their wing-backs, because they're the most likely players for Millwall to be in space because of that Leeds formation. So get it out to Longman, out to Norton Cuffy, stretch Leeds defensively.
There. Able to beat it down, and away they come. Strong Cuffy and Somerville tackling, and in the end Somerville will be penalised for handball.
Well, from the corner, Meslier got there, but far from convincing. He really just patted the ball down. He's got to be stronger.
We're given a real test, a real going over in that regard. Bradshaw always poised. It's Ayling's head this time. Denora at the back of Gray. Mitchell. Good work. Denora. Longman. Denora. Bradshaw. There's Rowe.
Yeah, Millwall doing. I was just talking about their stretching the game, getting their wing-backs involved, pulling those Leeds defenders, midfielders out of position across the pitch. That's when space will open up.
So 5th corner of the game. And the one that they have not used effectively.
Well, you can have plenty of threats in the penalty area, plenty of height, but when your delivery is as poor as it was there from Longman, you're never going to score.
Kaling making friends. More direct. Bradshaw does really well there. This is Nisbet. Swept away by Byram. Somerville. Showed too much of it to Norton Cuffy. Denora. Nisbet chasing. Longman there in support. He wants it. Longman's worked the angle and worked the goalkeeper.
It's a save that Meslier should make. They've done their homework. They know that Longman's going to shift that ball onto his right foot. Ayling doesn't get close enough, but it's where the keeper expects the shot to end up.
Norton Cuffy. Millwall revival brewing.
It's brilliant work from Ampadu there, just pinching the ball off the the toes of Norton Cuffy. He's done that so well so far for Leeds this season.
And he's due some better fortune, isn't he? Having been relegated in each of his last 3 seasons.
Yeah, I think so, don't you? Once he picks this ball up, Nisbet should have picked him out maybe a little bit earlier. Once he shifts it onto his right foot, Ayling probably doesn't do enough. You see the goalkeeper's already moving across his goal. He anticipates that that's where a right footer is going to strike the ball. From Longman's point of view, he's got to start that ball wide of that post and then draw it back on target, keep it well away from Mellier's left hand.
Let Ayling know he was there, Longman, after Ayling had released the ball. Boot is on the other foot, and Somerville concedes the foul on Ryan Leonard. It's never a quiet afternoon for a 4th official, but especially when a manager has a grievance. It's frustrated that they haven't capitalised on their excellent start as much as anything. It's great. Nonto, Longman, Mitchell, and Nisbet walking down the same road. Ethan Ampadu walking away. Now Byram. And it is deemed a foul by Leonard. And he may issue a word or two, bearing in mind that Leonard has been guilty of more than a couple of fouls.
Yeah, Nonto and Somerville actually switch flanks, so that's why Somerville is out on that left-hand side ahead of Byram. Gets to the ball first, Leonard. I think plans to take him out. He just thinks he can maybe get to the ball first, and Somerville's just quicker than him.
Well, Ruter and Gnonto, I wouldn't describe it as a heated conversation, but certainly an animated one. Gnonto, as you say, Andy, moving to this near flank, the Leeds right. And it was almost like Ruter had to usher him over there. Byram. Now Somerville. And keeping his eye on the ball, and now draws another foul.
Yeah, that was a clear foul, but Leeds have been really impressed. Of course, they weathered that early storm. They scored a great goal, some good attacking movement, but since then, I think the most important thing for them, can they get their foot on the ball? Can they slow Millwall down, take the sting out of the game after scoring? And that's exactly what they have done.
Tug of war there between Cooper and Ruter. Longman. Moved on by Campbell. Leonard. Denora's made an angle here. And Wallace has continued his run. Now Longman wants to work it inside. Passed up the opportunity to get the ball into the box. This is Norton Cuffy. Leonard's making a willing run from the back line. Here he is. And the race here between Ampadu and Campbell.
Well, it's patient football from Millwall, but Leeds defensively really strong setup. You know, Millwall are going to have the ball, they're going to shift it from left to right, but they don't go stepping out into areas they shouldn't be in. They don't give Millwall the opportunity, the space to create something. I think Daniel Farke's team has shown real discipline. He'll be delighted with the way the goal came about. You know, the counter-attack, but since then they've been pretty comfortable, and that's down to them dominating the ball and not giving Millwall the time and space to hurt them.
Seeking to become the first Leeds head coach since Neil Warnock to record a victory on this ground. Plenty of mutual admiration between the two head coaches. I know Gary Rowett has likened Daniel Farke's situation to the one he inherited when he went in at Stoke some years ago. There's plenty of expectation, but there's also plenty expecting to leave, and not necessarily making life terribly easy for you. Mitchell finding a way out of that situation.
It's a good job that he did, because if he'd lost the ball there under pressure from Ruter, some of it would have been away.
No perfect performance in many ways since he gave away the ball that time from Ethan Ampadu. He's really risen a few levels. And Meslier will hope the worst is behind him after some early anxiety. Ampadu now for Gnonto. Ayling. Ampadu to move it on, and Byram getting involved. Somerville. Got a deflection, Cooper's head. Gray, Ayling. Had a swing at it. Somerville. Byram. Ruter. Referee's not buying that.
Well, he's not buying it because it's absolutely not a foul. There's contact on Ruter, but he just throws himself to the ground. He's appealing to the referee, but that's not a foul. Got to be stronger. He's got the ball, he's got comfortable possession. There's a bit of maybe a tug on him, but why on earth is he falling over? He's not pushed. You stay on your feet. He's looking to convince the referee, pick up a free kick in a dangerous area.
Roden comes across, and that's a painful one for him. I thought he was going to head the ball, he headed something else.
Yeah, well, he had to come across and deal with it because Ayling stepped in underneath the ball, so Rodon as a centre-half, his natural instinct is to get round on the cover behind his full-back and has to challenge for the ball. As if he's come off worse.
Some messages on board. He does have some additional creativity from the bench later on to help them try and get a genuine foothold.
Well, there's a wealth of attacking talent on both benches, actually. I'm just wondering this injury, possible injury to Joe Rodon, if he has to come off. This Charlie Cresswell, of course, had a really successful loan spell at Millwall. He could easily just be the one to step in and replace Rodon. We'll have to see how bad this seeming cut on his head that Rodon has got. But at times as a defender, you've got to be brave, you've got to get across, help out your fullback who's been caught out of position, and he's taking a heavy knock for his troubles.
Well, let's do our best to settle the arguments about this goal then.
Well, Ayling does really well not to handball this. He gets himself into a mess with a poor first touch, but he clearly heads the ball. His hands, his arms aren't involved whatsoever. Ball comes out to the edge of the penalty area. Piroe, you can see, he's actually looking to get out of the way. There might be the slightest contact, but I don't feel there's enough there for the referee to give the free kick. That's what the Millwall fans are unhappy about. I think the referee's got that one right. So, and once that happens, Millwall are short in defensive numbers. It's then, can you pick the right pass? Is there good movement off the ball? The answer to both those questions is yes. I think Piroe's understanding of the ball's going to go into Ruter. Lots of midfielders, strikers breaking from midfield will want the ball themselves to their feet, but he steps over it. He knows he's the next man in line. It's a brilliant combination. Those three players linking up brilliantly, but it all starts really with that sweeping counter-attack. I can understand why Gary Rowett and the Millwall fans aren't happy. That's what they're complaining about, but to me, there wasn't enough contact on Nisbet to send him to the ground.
Well, there was no instant reaction from Nisbet when the challenge actually came in.
It's one of those, when you see Piroe maybe coming in to make the challenge, you feel he has to make contact with me, he has to take me out. And Nisbet goes to ground as if that's happened, and it clearly hasn't, because Piroe realises he's going to foul him, he's going to make contact. He looks to pull out of the way. And as I say, there might be a little bit of contact, but he certainly doesn't sweep, Nisbet's legs away. It's not a clear foul.
Well, they finally got their hands on Kevin Nisbet for agreeing a deal in January. Joe Rodon back on his feet. There doesn't seem to be any urgent activity on the Leeds bench as regards a replacement.
I suppose, of course, with Rodon, there's a cut there they have to deal with, but of course the worry is a bit of concussion as well, because it's been a head injury. The medical staff have to be ultra careful.
Well, the midweek action is now coming thick and fast after the first international break, and we've got all the action covered. But our main game on Tuesday sees the two bottom clubs face off at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday against Middlesbrough. And then two of the main contenders on Wednesday meet at Carrow Road. Norwich against Leicester. So Ampadu taking up a station at the heart of the Leeds defence as Rodon stands on the sidelines. A versatile player, Ampadu. Gnonto doing the defensive work. A murmur of appeals, if there ever is a murmur rather than a roar at Millwall.
That's brilliant defensive work from Gnonto. I asked right at the start of the game whether Gnonto Somerville would want to get back and help out their fullbacks defensively. That's exactly what he did here. There was no foul on the Millwall player, he was just strong, it was shoulder to shoulder. But it's that, getting back, helping Ayling out. I think Ayling's just going to say thank you to him there. That doubling up on Longman, getting into a good position, that isn't a foul, clearly. And the first thing he does is look to get on the front foot, get Leeds up the pitch, and he's taken out by Wallace. Really good play from Gnonto.
Will help the bridge building process. 4-minute stoppage for Joe Rodon's medical attention. He's back on the field. Ampadu. Gnonto.
I suppose from Daniel Farke's point of view, apart from that misplaced pass from Ethan Ampadu, this has been a very good first half, a very good away performance.
Not the greatest of away records, lost 15 out of 20. It's always worth mentioning, this is the first time this season in any competition Leeds have scored the first goal in a game. Bradshaw. Lots of space here for Norton Cuffy, and that's enticed Leonard forward inside him. Floated. Well, they ganged up on Nisbet. It'll fall to Longman. Nisbet, the player, down. Mitchell!
That's not an easy skill. Ball coming across your body. I'm not surprised Billy Mitchell didn't hit the target there, but Luke Ayling did incredibly well, because he was the one actually turned earlier in the move by Bradshaw. He does well to switch the play, get Norton Cuffy in possession in wide areas. This is what Millwall have to do, use the width, get crosses in, but Ayling does well to get back round on the cover, doesn't foul Nisbet. There's some contact there, not a foul again. How many white shirts are back in their penalty area, making it so difficult for Millwall to break them down. The ball's clipped in. Ayling, his fullback, should do get round on the cover, gets up early. That's not a foul.
So into the additional time now. And it will run for Gnonto. He retrieved by Murray Wallace, and forlorn glance at the referee from Gnonto. Nisbet onside. Picked off by Gray. A challenge from Nisbet on Gnonto, ending any threat that Millwall might be picked off.
I mentioned earlier in the game the maturity with which Archie Gray plays, and that was a great example of it. Millwall in comfortable possession, the ball's out wide, he's going to get played into the penalty area, across the pitch, and he just reads exactly where that pass is going to end up. For a young man to understand that so early in his career, outstanding.
Go away with his country during the break, stayed back at home, as did Crescencio Somerville.
Now, we know he has the ability to pass and play, but his reading of the game, especially in that position that he's playing, is so important. You appreciate what opponents are looking to do to you.
Daniel Farke very keen to try and concentrate on the room for improvement rather than be focusing on how impressive he has been. In a way to, if it needs it, and judging by his attitude on the pitch, it almost certainly doesn't, keep his feet on the ground.
Well, he's playing regular first-team football for Leeds, so it shows that he's doing something right. But of course, all players, regardless of age, are things they can work on.
What are you working on at the moment?
In terms of my football, trying to get my knees to work would help.
Byram has forced a corner.
I think that's a major part of the reason that Sam Byram is in the side at left-back today ahead of Jamie Shackleton, that ability to get forward and affect the game from a full-back position.
Somerville, Ayling's arrived with interest. He's a good timer of a leap on most occasions.
It was important there that Ryan Leonard appreciated that Ayling was his man, was going to run and jump. Had to big old side of it in front of him, making it really difficult for Ayling to get a clear header in.
Well, many around us leaving for their half-time rumination. On the line by Bradshaw. Cooper. Jalkowski does end the trouble that he started.
That's the one thing Millwall cannot afford to do, whether it be the goalkeeper, their defenders, is make basic errors like that, gift the ball to Leeds' attacking quartet, because the game will be killed off if they do that.
Kavanagh may be on the receiving end of some Millwall ire as he leaves the field at half-time. And that moment comes. Gary Rowett, doubtless frustrated that his team could not capitalise on their excellent start of the game. The Leeds struck in stylish fashion, but in the minds of most around here, not without controversy. They, as Kevin Nisbet felt, will feel there was a foul on him in the build-up, and the referee receiving the verdict from the majority here at the Den. But the verdict in general has to be that this has been an outstanding away first-half performance from Leeds United. The half-time score, Millwall 0, Leeds United 1.
Cheers to the fans' spirit. Jameson sponsors the EFL on Sky Sports.
My name is Arthur Baxter.
Our director. You shut up, and you make me bacon sandwich.
This is my story told by me.
Health isn't someday in the future, it's now. It's same-day GP appointments. Physio without GP referrals. Cancer testing, scans and diagnosis fast. Questions for an expert at any hour about anything. Support that lasts for as long as it takes. Feeling your best every day starts today. Call or go online now for your health insurance quote.
Enjoy more of the latest blockbusters than anywhere else this summer on Sky Cinema.
If you could go anywhere in the whole world, where would you go? Are you ready to go?
Hollywood is the most magical place in the world. A better world. The world of heroes.
I know how to get there. Just watch me.
This place. It's special.
And a mountain of entertainment from Paramount Plus included at no extra cost.
Better check it out. See how we go. Hold on to your saddles.
Journey to incredible destinations this summer on Sky Cinema.
Is your garden overgrown?
Get the G-Tech out.
Are your hedges in a mess?
Get the G-Tech out.
Want neat edges but no
Get
stress?
the G-Tech out.
If your house is in a state, get your carpets looking great.
Get the G-Tech out. Get the G-Tech out.
For your beautiful home and garden, relax.
And get the G-Tech out.
These are yours.
$100,000.
There you go.
McDonald's. Talk to the hand.
Oh, get with it, Tony. The eggs and McMuffins have been free range for over 20 years.
And the pork. It's all RSPCA assured.
Hold the line. Bada bing.
We're constantly making little changes to the way we source our food.
Yeah, chillax. I'll get that faxed over to you ASAP. Hey, we still on for squash on Thursday?
We've kept up with the times, unlike Tony.
Did he say fax?
What's fax?
When you watch illegal streams, you risk letting criminals in. If they access your network or hack your device, they could steal your personal data, steal your money, and even steal your identity. Illegal streams let criminals in. Be streamwise.com.
Hi, I've come about the leak.
Come on in. It's the bathroom at the top of the stairs. I'll pop the kettle on.
Oh, lovely.
It's a bit of a tricky one.
With click and collect from over 550 stores, you can conquer any job with Toolstation.
Yo, what up, everybody? Roy and Kitty here.
Who is this schmuck?
How much did we make today?
5 million?
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
I've never seen anything like it.
I'm gonna buy you a mansion.
Let's drink to that.
It is the craziest I've ever seen.
Dumb Money in cinema September 22nd.
Football, best served with the crack. Jameson sponsors the EFL on Sky Sports. Welcome back, Leeds 1-0 up at the break at Millwall, and the Joel Pirro, Jermaine Beckford goal was a thing of beauty, wasn't it?
It was lovely. Really, really well taken. And it all starts from here. I think Luke Ayling's quite fortunate. It's a bit of a heavy touch, but he does wonderfully well to keep his hands out of the way and not give away a penalty. But then this is the part here when the ball comes in that the Millwall fans are a little bit aggrieved by that part there with Pirro.
Foul for you?
I don't think so. I don't think there's enough in it. There's a little bit of contact, but I think he tries to buy it a little bit. But you can't take anything away from this bit here. Pirro has the great awareness to see Ruta behind him. Continues his run. Ruta, perfectly weighted first-time touch there. What a touch that is from Pirro, by the way. It gives himself the best opportunity to get a shot off and calmly put the ball in the back of the net. But that instance there, you have to say Luke Ayling's very, very smart, very clever in terms of getting his way. Used his head well.
This a foul for you, Joby?
No, I think Nisbet is certainly trying to initiate the contact. I don't think there's enough there. Plus, I think he does overrun the ball.
Yeah.
And I think once they get into this position, I mean, that front four today has been incredible. Nonto, it's been a real handful. This touch here and then that one, just to set himself, composure, something that we've seen with Pirro. Every time he seems to take the pitch, real composure in that box, and that's exactly why they've spent the money they have on him.
Bright opening few minutes for Millwall. Gary Rowett looked very frustrated over the course of the first half. What do they have to change at half-time?
I think, again, for me, they've got some good attacking options. I felt like Leeds actually dealt with that initial period really, really well. That was a question coming in. How do you handle that atmosphere and the intensity, which certainly Millwall did come out with. But I think in terms of getting to Ampadu, I think that would be something I'd look to do a little bit more. I think at times he's been able to just dictate play too much. You've got a 3v2 in there. They should be going to get after him, and just to stop him really making them as comfortable as they have been on the ball.
Food for thought then at half-time, but it's Leeds United that will be the happiest, of course, after the opening period. A gloriously taken goal by Joel Pirro. Off the back of wonderful forward build-up play by the Whites, has Leeds in the lead at half-time. Cheers to away day magic. Jameson sponsors the EFL on Sky Sports.
Dear Britain, it's heating up outside, which means we're turning the heating down inside. So, as the sun rises, our hopes for a better future rise with it. A future where our solar panel or boiler installations could save you money on your energy bills.
Save up to £1,180 a year with our solar panel and battery storage solutions, or cut your energy bills with a brand new A-rated boiler.
Life's better boxed.
If something in your body doesn't feel right, don't carry the worry of cancer with you. Tests could put your mind at rest. Until you find out, you can't rule it out. Contact your GP practice.
This is Brooklyn, New York, where we live, walk, and talk like no one else. You gotta love the place that made you, and every little moment of inspiration. So we've made this Pilsner for you. Crisp, bright, and refreshing. Inspired by Brooklyn and brewed for all. Brooklyn Pilsner.
Wouldn't it be nice if things were better than you ever imagined?
Join Sky Mobile and get 99% network coverage. Imagine that.
Sky Mobile. Hello, possible.
Hi, I've come about the leak.
Come on in. It's the bathroom at the top of the stairs. I'll pop the kettle on.
Oh, lovely.
It's a bit of a tricky one.
With click and collect from over 550 stores, you can conquer any job with Toolstation.
Let's talk engine again. Etcete full hybrid 200 horsepower engine. Self-charging hybrid with up to 683-mile range. All new Renault Austral E-Tech full hybrid. Renault. Rethink hybrid. We did. All new Renault Austral E-Tech full hybrid. Available for £349 per month.
We know what our pets are like. They're funny, cuddly, sweet, but how do we know what they need? Meet Max and Juniper. They've both taken a Wisdom DNA test. Juniper's parents found out she's 22% Staffordshire Bull Terrier and has a genetic marker that's likely to make her overeat. And thanks to Wisdom Panel, Max's parents found out he's 79% Persian, powered by a breed database of over 3 million dogs and cats. Want to know what's in your pet's DNA? Wisdom Panel is the way to know more, care better.
At Wix, our design consultants won't rest until they've helped create the kitchen of your dreams. And now get up to 50% off kitchen units from the Wix Bespoke range. Don't be house embarrassed, be house proud.
You can't play here!
Come on.
We rise by lifting each other. Kenko, made to uplift.
Jan's got a boyfriend. He's nobody. He's not nobody. He's famous. His girlfriend's famous too. His girlfriend? I know, it's terrible. We're completely different people from completely different worlds.
Seamus?
Fasten your seatbelt.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, available now in Sky Store.
There will be a wonderful gift for each and every one of you.
Enjoy more of the latest blockbusters than anywhere else on Sky Cinema.
Cheers to goals and glory. Jameson sponsors the EFL on Sky Sports.
A busy weekend of EFL action kicked off on Friday night. Leicester City putting 4 past Southampton at St Mary's. Stephen Mavididi having the freedom of the pitch to put it past Gavin Bazunu to make it 4-1 on the night to Leicester City. More live Sky Bet Championship action coming your way. Sky Sports, of course, is the only place for it. Tuesday, Sheffield Wednesday against Borough. 2 teams in dire need of points down at the bottom. Before Wednesday sees Norwich host Leicester, 7:30, both Sky Sports football. The Singapore Grand Prix has just got underway at the Marina Bay track. Got signs on pole. And he pulled away very quickly. Indeed, you can watch that over on Sky Sports F1. Meanwhile, back at the New Den, Millwall needs something in the second half. Will their dynamic Dutchman Zine Fleming be part of that? We'll find out after the break.
Live your best phone life on the UK's fastest 5G network. 3.
Sky Cinema includes Paramount Plus at no extra cost.
Second half about to get underway at the New Den. Leeds 1-0 up against Millwall. And as we've seen so far, they've been a mixed bag this season, Leeds. How do they get themselves navigated through this next half of football, Jermaine?
I would like to say doing a lot of the same of what we've seen so far. They're dominating possession, moving the ball really well, getting the ball out wide to Somerville, to Nonto, and as quickly as they can possibly get the ball in towards Ruta in the middle of the field. We've seen the movement and the creativity coming from all 4 of the forwards. So just more of the same.
More of the same.
Easy.
That's the mantra from Jermaine Beckford. And I'm sure that applies to our commentary team. Andy Hinchcliffe, Daniel Mann.
Well, I'm sure there will be others with a rather different verdict on that, but there we are. As far as the commentary is concerned. But, we are ready to go, and there will be no changes of personnel at the start of the second half. Can Millwall get back into that imposing, aggressive stride of the early minutes, or will Daniel Farke's team continue in their impressive form of the last 35 minutes, I suppose, of that half?
Yeah, I think Daniel Farke, he won't be happy with the half-time break because his team were in control of the game. They were a goal up, they were in control of the ball. And Millwall was struggling to lay a glove on them, so that break sometimes can change the momentum of the game, the flow of the game. And Leeds again establish control once more.
Wallace is under this ball with Somerville, and it's reverted back to the situation in which they started the game, with Gnonto on the left side. There he is involved. This is Ryan Leonard. Daniel Farke has never recorded victory over a Gary Rowett's team. Donora. That's a good ball. Now it's Bradshaw! Well, a striker who can produce what he does generally only has eyes for goal. Kevin Nisbet, though, was beseeching him for a ball across.
That was too easy, though, for Campbell to step forward here. Sorry, it's actually Donore. He just steps away from Gnonto, who just makes a token effort at defending. I think the angle is a problem for Bradshaw. And he's got his angles right, doesn't really give Bradshaw anything to shoot. That should be maybe going along the floor to the keeper's right.
And the head down by Ampadu. Got the, well, a reasonable enough result from his point of view.
Just a warning there for Leeds and for Gnonto that if you don't put yourself about defensively, you could have a problem. So easy for Donora just to step forward there and pick out that pass to Bradshaw. Gnonto and all the other Leeds players have to do more, as they did for the majority of that first half.
Byram has gone a long way and has found Gnonto as Leeds attack the goal behind which their fans are gathered on high. Well, there were some transport troubles. It does look like at least the vast majority of the 2,000 expected have made it. Well, they've come from various parts of the country, such as the nature of Leeds United support, a lot of diaspora. Oh, that had to be won by Wallace.
Yeah, he does well. He runs a really good defensive line. He doesn't get caught ball watching. If he watches the ball there, Ruter is in behind him, but he appreciates he's got to track that run, block off the passing avenue, really.
Donora, there's Strauch. Only one of those from the Low Countries ending up on the floor.
I'm sure the referee only gives the free kick here because Donori actually puts his hand up in apology because he knows that he's caught Strauch. And that's why I think the free kick goes Leeds' way. And Strauch gets there first, plays the ball. He does catch him. I think he just turns and kind of apologises, expecting the free kick to be given. It hadn't been. And the referee changed his mind.
Leonard looking to get Millwall on the front foot. Well, blatant shirt pull. And the referee not urgently going to his pocket, which is why there's a good amount of anger around.
That's clearly a foul. It's a pretty obvious shirt pull as well. And that's what Leonard and Millwall fans are unhappy about. There's not a yellow card for this because it's pretty cynical. It all stems from great pressure on the ball from Leonard, putting Gnonto under huge pressure in his own half. Again, I think Gary Rowett's just making that point to the officials. How is that not a yellow card?
Leonard's ball in. Well, we have not yet had a yellow card, 50 minutes into Millwall leads. I mean, it's possibly been a long time since that situation has arisen in this fixture. We signalled to both, apparently, a word from the sidelines to Leonard and Gnonto is that they're running the risk. One more will get them in the book. And there's a distinctive soundtrack for fourth official Andy Davis. Bradshaw wants a free kick, which he'll get.
Well, this is not an easy position to directly score from. It's pretty central, so the delivery, the movement off the ball has to be spot on.
Cooper rising well.
And it's all about that second ball. Cooper's never going to score with the initial ball in.
Well, there is a little bit of bubbling in the pan, not quite a rolling boil yet.
I think the Leeds fans, Leeds players are unhappy. The ball gets headed by Cooper. Meslier looks as if he's going to get there easily, which he seemingly does. It's just there's a bit of late contact. And Ryan Leonard just leaves his boot in there. Ampadu's not happy. He just sees the ball and thinks he can possibly pinch it. Meslier and the Leeds defenders not happy with his actions.
Yes, Ampadu in particular taking exception. Rather mild stuff in the end. Leonard has just been warned by the referee, though. We should stress that his conduct will bring him a yellow card before, well, fairly swiftly, if he continues in the same vein. Piru. Billy Mitchell did enough there to deny him the chance to exploit the full range of his shooting ability. Ampadu just letting Denora know he was about.
And that's good defending from Mitchell, because Piru, he can be devastating in the penalty area, but outside the penalty area as well, he can score from range. So vitally important for Mitchell that he closed Piru down there as he shaped to maybe shoot.
Norton Cuffy. Gnonto. Gray. Ayling. Single doing his utmost to regain it. Murray Wallace taking charge and then giving it away. Ampadu. A lot going on this side, so he'll carry the fight himself.
Millwall haven't really established an attacking foothold in this second half yet, so I wonder how long Gary Rowett will wait to maybe make changes. Ian Fleming is the obvious one. He's not had the greatest starts this season, but he's a player who can affect a game. Millwall aren't producing, and he's most likely to come on.
Gray, but it's fallen for Nisbet, but then picked off by Byram. Denora was arriving. Gnonto. Well, that's really fizzed across.
Well, everyone is expecting Gnonto to pull the ball back. He's got every right to say, why has maybe one of you made a move into the 6-yard box? He was isolated one-on-one. He goes past Norton Cuffy as if he's not there. And everybody, those three attackers, are all standing outside the 6-yard box. Some of those the closest to Gnonto get in across the near post. Let the other two behind you maybe set off. Someone's got to make a move. It's a brilliant ball in. They should really have profited from that.
A rather gloomy autumnal feel now at the start of this second half. The Floodlights on. Hoping to whip up a storm, but they're going to have to make changes by the look of it if that's going to happen. Zian Fleming standing poised.
Yeah, he was quite brilliant last season, scoring, creating. There's a lot of talk about him moving on in the summer. It didn't happen, and he's not been at his best. He will probably admit that. All it takes is one game, one good performance, one good second half, and suddenly he can be the player he was last season.
There is certainly a sense that he has been affected by that speculation. There's many a manager around waiting, desperately hoping that the window will shut so that a star player can't be taken away. Some of those
Barbie, available